Hey everybody, we're gonna continue again.
減圧症は周囲に急激な気圧変化が起こった際に体内に排出できないガスが溜まってしまうために起こるのです。ガスは気泡となって筋組織や静脈中などにとどまります。ガスが体内に多く残っていると酸素呼吸効率が著しく低下します。
So, no matter how many deep breaths you take, it feels like you're suffocating?
はい。また、血液中に溶けた窒素が気化すると血栓を作ってしまうことがあります。血流を塞いでしまい危険です。そこでこの部屋を密閉して高濃度の酸素を注入。一旦約3気圧までゆっくりと加圧し、その後ゆっくりと減圧し、再び1気圧に戻します。圧力差を利用して体内の気泡を再び血液中に溶け込ませ、呼吸によって自然に排出できるようにするわけです。
So basically, you make us like a can of cola that won't blow up.
ええ、その通りです。
Okay, I got it. I lifted my hand. Gosh, that dash up the stairs sure wore me out. I heaved a breath.
あ、倉成さん、苦しくないですか？
Huh? Me? My muscles feel kinda sore and I'm a bit sluggish, but...
ねえ、倉成も部屋に入った方がいいんじゃない？軽い減圧症はすぐに自覚症状が現れるわけじゃないの。一晩二晩経ってから痛み出すこともあるのよ。
After you figure out you're in trouble, it's too late?
ええ、症状が長引くかもね。
そうですね。念のためですが皆さん全員この部屋に入っていただきます。
The decompression process took place over several hours. Coco lay on the only bed. The kid, you, Pippi, and I sat next to her. Oh, even the dog. It was cramped. We were like sardines in a can. There was nowhere to move. I wonder what time it was. I took my PDA and checked. 11:54 p.m. I was sleepy. Coco was sleeping and her breathing was relaxed. It looked like she was doing better. It didn't look like you or the kid were sleeping, but they sat quietly with their eyes closed. Here, there you go. Pippi had crawled under the bed. Sora had sealed the hatch from outside and was adjusting the pressure as necessary. Sora, what about you? Don't you need to be treated? Before the process had started, I had asked Sora this.
ええ、私は体が慣れてますから。あ、それと皆さん、再圧の時には耳の音声変換器を一旦外してください。それは鼓膜を気圧差から保護する役割がありますが、再圧中は邪魔になってしまいますから。
I removed the earphones that I'd become completely used to and held them in my hand. Sora still stood just outside the hatch window. Tsugumi wasn't inside or visible outside the room. She had left just before the pressurization process had started. I think, when was Sora going to sleep? This simple doubt jumped into my mind. Who cares about Tsugumi? She was doing minute? Complex work non-stop and she was always on her feet. Maybe she never got tired. When I spoke with her over the interphone and asked her if she was alright, she laughed and said she was just fine. And she was still standing outside the room as if she were a sentinel guarding it. Her back was straight and she never slouched, always looking like she was at attention. I wonder if what she said about being fine, not sleeping days on end was true. That really bothers me. I thought that I'll follow up on it later. Even as I thought that, my eyelids got heavier and heavier. But still, even so, today really was an eventful day. Then I fell away into slumber. May 2nd. I'm sleepy. The lack of sleep made the echo of the shoes scraping the ground seem louder than usual. As I walked down the emergency corridor, I stretched. You was next to me. Coco and the kid trailed a little way behind us.
あんなにぐっすり眠ってたくせに。
Yeah, but what time do you think it is right now?
5時半。
That's right. So that means that I only slept 4.5 hours.
しかじゃなくて、もでしょ？この状況でよくそんなに眠れるわね。
It's because is this kind of situation that we've gotta sleep. Our minds have to be sharp. We have to be ready for anything, right?
じゃあ、今は回転してるんだ。
Well, I'm still a bit sleep deprived, so not all my pistons are firing. But I think I'm doing about as good as the next guy. Huh? The next thing I noticed, you was no longer next to me. I stopped and looked back. I saw the kid and Coco disappearing down a side pathway to the right. I hurried after the three of them.
で、どうなのよ、睡眠の成果は。
You spoke to me sarcastically once I caught up. I just told you I'm not running at full power.
は
You let out an exasperated sigh and shrugged her shoulders. She also arched an eyebrow as if annoyed.
あ、くらなり。いっぺん鏡見た方がいいんじゃない？
Huh? Mirror?
あんたね、ともかくさっさと顔洗った方がいいよ。
So they did draw on his face in this timeline too. We entered the emergency stairs from the emergency corridor. We had just been roused from sleep by Sora, and the four of us shuffled the control room on the third floor, Shiristo. We seemed to have passed through the decompression process without a hitch as no one had any complaints. Even Coco, who had seemed to be having such a rough time, was...
ぽっかりぽかぽか日曜日。ぷっかりぷかぷか水曜日。ぴったりぴかぴかぴぴ曜日。
Even the dogs seemed in high spirits. They looked even happier than the day before. The water on the corridor floor splashed and sprayed as we walked. You walked next to me, hand clammed up. Wonder what she is peeved about. I slowed down my pace to walk with the kid. Hey, you got any idea what you was all miffed about?
さあ、
The kid answered, grinning. Hey, what are you laughing about? Do you know something that I don't?
心当たりないの？
If I did, I wouldn't be asking you. You told me to look in the mirror, but...
なんだ、教えちゃったのか。
Huh?
つまんないの。
The kid kept glancing at my face and trying not to smile. My face? I wiped the palm of my hand on my face. It looked like black ink was smeared there. What's this? I tried to wipe it off with my shirt collar, but it wouldn't come off.
あ、トイレならあっちだよ。
The faucet was broken and the sink was overflowing with water. I hurriedly washed my hands then my face. The mirror in front of me was shattered into so many shards it was useless. That's a good thing. But most of the black had come off of my hands, so I thought my face was probably alright. That girl. I said disgustingly and hurried out of my bathroom. Hey, you! What did you write on my face?
は？
While I was asleep, you scribbled all over my face, didn't you?
落書き？
As she walked, you gaped at my face.
何言っちゃってんだかね、この人は。ひょっとして、まだ寝ぼけてるとか？
Don't play dumb with me, you. You were just talking about a mirror.
だっけ、そんなことを。
You said it. I know you said it.
言い間違えたんじゃないの？やっぱり寝ぼけてるんだよ。
Then what's this? I showed her my shirt collar where I had wiped the ink.
どれどれ？
You mumbled this, so I stepped closer. Suddenly, she grabbed my hand and stared at my palm intently.
おお、こいつは珍しい手相をしとるの。
Oh my gosh. Palm reading? Is that what you're into now?
天婚一滴の相と言ってな、運命が大きく二手に分かれることを示しておるのじゃ。つまり、オール・オア・ナッシングじゃな。すべてを得るか、あるいはすべてを失ってしまうか。一方に進めば、金運、仕事運ともに上々で、美しい女性と巡り合い、子宝にも恵まれ、幸せな家庭を築けるじゃろう。おまけに、健康運も最高ときとる。人が羨むほどの長寿長命を全うすることになりそうじゃ。ただしじゃ。もう一方に進んでしまうと、これは本当に大変なことになるぞ。
Dire?
これ以上はわしの口からは言えんの。 この生命線の真ん中のところをよーくよーくじっくりと見つめてみるのじゃ。そこに答えが刻まれておるのじゃからな。
Wow, you, why? I looked down the palm of my hand. My eyes traced a line down my lifeline. Wide-eyed, I scrutinized each wrinkle and line. But I didn't see any answer anywhere. There was still black ink in the creases of my hand. Black ink, black ink, black ink? I remember what I was angry about. Forget fortune-telling. You're trying to trick me. What? Hey! The next thing I knew, you was no longer beside me. I stopped and looked back. I saw the kid and Coco vanish into a small side corridor. Whoa, jeez, I don't believe these guys. I hurriedly chased after the three of them. Tsugumi was in front of the control room. She was leaning against the wall, her arms folded and facing down. I peered at Tsugumi's face. I was curious where she had gone off to the day before. She could at least have given me a hint. Tsugumi didn't budge. She stood there with her mouth half open, only blinking her eyes a couple of times.
なーに?
Tsugumi finally spoke.
なんか文句あるの?
Then she scowled. Huh? Oh, good morning. Did you get a good sleep last night? I didn't. That damn room was so small I ended up sitting on the floor all night. I yawned and rubbed my eyes with both hands as I spoke. So what did you do after that yesterday? But then Tsugumi's eyes narrowed into slits and she leveled a steely glare at me. It was the kind of look that could kill.
ひどい顔。最低ね。
Ooh. Huh? Tsugumi shook her head as if she were fed up with me and vanished inside the control room. Absolute worst? Hey, hold on a
倉
sec!
成さん、
Sora's voice came from behind me.
そんなところで何をやっているんです？早く中に入ってください。
But
いいから早くお願いします。
the expression on her face appeared more stressed than the day before. It seemed as if her face said that something serious was unfolding.
こんなにも早い時間に皆さんにお集まりいただいたのは他でもありません。実は皆さんに一刻も早くお知らせしなければならないことがあったのです。
Sora paused for a second. Sora looked over all five of us, you, Coco the kid, Tsugumi, and finally me. The cooling fan whirred away in the silence. Occasionally the sound of metal on metal would ring through the room. The five of us waited on Sora's next room.
昨夜、小町さんを除く4人の皆さんが加減圧室に入られた後、私はこの制御室でここからの脱出方法や外部への通信手段について考えていました。そしてレミュー内の状況を一つ一つ調べていくうちにある事実が判明したのです。
脱出するルートが見つかったの？
いいえ。
ってことは、新たに外部へ連絡する方法が？
それもまだです。
Then what did you figure out?
そうですね。圧力核兵器の耐久強度、その限界が分かりました。
Saying that, Sora turned her head to her eyes to the side of the console. In the darkness, a three-dimensional...
圧力核兵器って何？
Coco held Pippi tightly as she asked.
レミューの壁のことです。外側の海水と内側の空間を隔てている部分。
その限界が分かったって、どういうことなの？
昨日もお伝えしましたように、レミューは基本的に飽和潜水仕様の設計をもとに建造された構造物です。つまり、内部の気圧が外部の水圧と同等か、それを上回るような構造になっていたということです。しかし、今や館内の気圧は1気圧。ですから、
レミューの外核は常に苛烈な水圧の力にさらされているということになる。
はい。
ところが、レミューはもともとこのような状況に長く耐えられるようには作られていない。必然的にいつかは限界が訪れることになる。
おっしゃる通りです。
So, when is this limit?
レミの計算によると、今から約119時間後に、119時間。5日後か。 完全悪化推定時刻は5月7日午前4時30分前後となっています。もちろんあくまでも推定ですから誤差はありますが。
誤差はどのくらいなの？
プラスマイナス12時間程度です。
Everyone went silent, lost in thought. Sora's talk had made it clear that we were in a crisis, but I still didn't know what to make of it. I didn't know if 5 days was a long time or a short one. We didn't have a schedule, but if we could find a way out, I didn't figure we'd be sticking around 5 days. Even if we didn't call anyone, a rescue team might be on its way anyway.
ねえねえ、ソラさん。ここ、バカだからあんまりよくわかんなかったんだけど、それって、こういうことだよね。
ん？
5月7日、午前4時30分頃に、レミューはくしゃっとぺったんこになっちゃう。もしかしたら、そうなっちゃうのは、6日の午後4時半ぐらいかもしれないし、7日の午後4時半ぐらいかもしれない。ここまでは OK だよね。
ええ。
ってことはさ、逆に言うと、こういうことにならない？最低でも6日の午後4時半ぐらいまではレミューはぺったんこにならない。だからそれまでは全然大丈夫で、心配することなんかないぴょろりーん。ねえ、そういうことでしょ？
絶対に安全だと断定することはできませんが、でも確かにレミの計算結果から判断するとそうなりますね。
なんだ、だったらそれでいいじゃん。ソラさん、眉間にキュッてシワなんか寄せちゃってるからさ、ココはちょっぴりドキドキしちゃったよ。まったく脅かすんじゃないぜベイブ。ってピピもそう言ってるよ。そうだよね。あと1日でなんて言われたら思わず大暴れするかもしれないところだけど、まだまだ時間は十分あるんだし、それまでにはきっと誰か助けに来てくれるよ。
The kid standing next to you agreed. He nodded rhythmically as if answering a question. The tension in the air gave way and smiles returned to faces around the room. Even Tsugumi, who didn't smile, looked relieved. It was 5:50 a.m. I gave a large yawn. Alright, all done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all of them. I was in the narrow space of the chicken sandwich stand where the cooking equipment was. I was wrapping and placing the freshly made breakfast sandwiches on a tray. Why is it that I have to make breakfast for everyone? Complaining, I took the tray in both hands and opened the small door of the stand.
しょうがないでしょ。民主主義の原則にのっとって決めたんだから。
Yu was waiting from the shop and snatched a sandwich from the tray. She peeled back the wrapping and opened up her mouth. Democracy is overrated. It just means the majority rules.
そうだよ。
You said it flatly as she munched on her sandwich.
つまり、民意を最大限に反映した結果ってわけ。
It was true that I'd been an overwhelming vote. I had only been appointed breakfast chief minutes before. I hadn't even run for the office. I know that you're the one in shadows running this conspiracy.
失礼な。そんなことはしませんよーだ。きっとみんなは、こん中で一番タケちゃんが料理うまそうだなーって、純粋にそう思ったから手を挙げたんだと思うよ。
You're sure full of it.
ごちそうさま。
You already ate it? That's so
という
fast.
わけで、おかわりを。
I slapped away Yu's outstretched hand. I've only made one for each person. If you want another one, you make it.
タケ様、もう一個作って。
How about no? First, I wanted to get away from you. I took the remaining 4 sandwiches over to the rest area to hand them out. Breakfast is ready. Come and get it! As I called out, I set the tray on the bench.
ご飯だ、ご飯だ、6番だ。
And Coco came running and splashing toward me. Pippi the dog paddled along behind her.
いただきまーす。
All of a sudden, I noticed the kid beside me. Hey, where are Tsugumi and Sora?
トラなら制御室に戻ったよ。まだ調べたいことが残ってるって言ってたけど。
Oh, that again.
つぐみんはね、
Same old, same old. I turned my eyes to the 3 chicken sandwiches left on the tray. What to do? Go to Sora. I decided to look in on Sora first. I'm trying to make decisions, you know, so I'd be nicer to Sora, so maybe I can get her good ending. If I get the bad ending, it doesn't matter, because Sora and Tsugumi share the same bad ending. I'll look for Tsugumi later. I took their sandwiches in hand and left the room. Which way was it? I'd gone as far as the corner before I realized I didn't know the route. Maybe it's this way. Finally. Himmel. I found a room where the corridor played out. Himmel was written on the door. No, this isn't it. I retraced my route. Alright, here it is. Hey Sora, it's time for dinner. I pushed the open button next to the door. But the door didn't open. Hey Sora, open up. I brought you food. Time to eat. I shouted into the interphone as I pushed the button to talk.
食事ですか?
She replied to me through the speaker.
わざわざありがとうございます。でも私、必要ありませんから。
You don't? Don't say that. Sora, have you been eating okay? You have to eat or you're not going to have any energy.
すいません。今手が離せないんです。
I guess Sora's embarrassed to admit that she's an AI and a hologram. I remember that we had the same exchange the day before. Hurry it up, these sandwiches are gonna get cold. Besides, I made them special for you. Listen, I just want to give these to you, so will you open the
ど
door?
うしてもダメなんです。
Come on, please just open the door, Sora. I'll throw in a coupon for a beer if you
ご
want.
めんなさい。
We kept arguing through the speaker. Alright then, I'm going to wait out here for one more
1 分
minute.
ですか? 弱りましたね。ちょっと向こうに行かないといけないんですよ。
Huh? Somewhere where? Hey Sora, where are you going? Hello? Hello? I pushed the button again and again, shouting, but Sora didn't answer. Just then the lights in the corridor began to flicker uneasily. I instinctively glanced up at the ceiling. I started to hear as a dull growl-like sound shook the floor. What? What is happening? It couldn't be. Tiny waves formed in the water, pulled on the floor. The walls and ceiling trembled slightly. Metal screeched on metal, as if they were trying to say something to me. Whoa. Darkness blanketed me. Vibrations and sound died away. Only an eerie silence enveloped us. Only the other emergency lights glowed dimly. Is this a blackout? I wonder what happened to Sora. Hey, Sora, answer me! I pounded the door. I thought she might not be able to hear me inside. Then I tapped the interphone button, but there was no response. Oh, I wonder if the interphone needs electricity to work. I had no clue what was happening on the other side of the door. I figured the only thing I could do was get the door open. I heard the footsteps approaching from the darkened corridor. Who's there? In the far darkness, I could just make out 4 familiar outlines.
クラナリ早くピュー
Splashing through the water, the 3 of them walked over.
ねえ、空のことを見かけなかった？
No, but she was inside here until just a bit ago. But now she won't answer, and it seems like the door is locked.
何かあったの？
I don't know. Anyway, let's get inside. How do we get this open?
扉の下の方に緊急用の開閉装置があるから。
Pulling on the lever, I pushed the door open to the side. The door opened just wide enough for a person to squeeze through. I peeked inside the room. It was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing.
懐中電灯いる？
Oh, thanks. I gave the kid the sandwich and took the flashlight. I turned it on and stepped into the room. A white circle of light appeared on the wall. I swung the light left and right and shined it in the corners of the room. The electricity was completely down. Like an abandoned castle, there was no sign of warmth left. There was clearly nobody there. Well, what should we do? I joined everyone and said this calmly. It had been one crisis after another since the day before. I guess we were already used to the situation because nobody had lost it.
自然に何も言わずに空がいなくなるなんて。
You tilted her head as she said this. I looked at her, then I noticed something. You, when did you change clothes?
ああ、これ？
You was wearing clothes I hadn't remembered seeing.
さっき制服にソースこぼしちゃって。更衣室に着替え1着だけ入ってたから。これは。
I see. So you had a change of clothes. Spilling sauce on your uniform? That's pretty clumsy. You scratched her head as if to offset her embarrassment. Anyway, we should be thinking about Sora.
とりあえずみんなで手分けしてソラさんを探すしかないんじゃないの？ソラさんがいなかったらなんで停電したのかだってわかんないんだし。
そうだね。レミューに一番詳しいのは空なんだから。
Alright, let's do this. You and the kid, you guys check this floor. Tsugumi, Coco, and I will hit the second floor. Okay?
あ、
了解。
ピピは？
Of course, he'll go with you. I petted Pippi's head. Alright, let's go search! Sora! Sora! The three people in one mutt, myself, Tsugumi, Coco, and Pippi, split up once we reached White Stalk. The entrance to the neutral buoyancy elevator. Inside the infirmary. The changing room. The security office. The merry-go-round. We searched everywhere, even the jellyfish gondola. Then we retraced our way back to the infirmary, and then... Coco was shaking the flashlight and signaling to me. I had handed it to her before we started searching. How'd it go? Any luck? Coco used the flashlight to make a big X, signifying nothing found.
そっちは？
Nothing. She's not on this floor. What about Tsugumi?
つぐみんはね、さっきココの目の前を通り過ぎて
Pass by?
あっちの相乗り場の方に行っちゃった。
The neutral buoyancy elevator, huh?
なんかね、大きな荷物持ってたみたい。
Something big. Sound like Tsugumi was up to something. I'll go check it out. Coco and I moved to the room next door. There were signs of someone there. I headed in the pitch darkness with something rustling around.
つぐみ？
Calling out, Coco shined the light on the shadow.
眩しい。
As expected with Tsugumi, she held out the palms of her hands as she stood up. Coco hurried to turn off the flashlight and rushed over by Tsugumi. I followed her over with Pippi.
何やってるの？こんなとこで。じゃわからないよ。ねえ、何やってたの？
調べてたの。
何を？
このエレベーターを。
愛のこと？
そう。
それを調べるのにこんなでっかい荷物が必要なの？
Coco pointed down by Tsugumi's feet. There lay a massive plastic case. I was sure I'd seen it in the warehouse the day before. It looked like a toolbox, but...
これは後で必要になってくるの。今はただエレベーターの状態を見てただけ。ちゃんと動くかどうか、扉は手動で開くのかどうか。
Tsugumi was loads more talkative than usual. Her attitude toward Coco was much nicer than the one she had toward me. It seemed to me that Coco's unique personality kept even Tsugumi off balance.
それでどうだったの？エレベーターは動きそう？
多分ね。
Tsugumi glanced at me as she said
ほいで
this.
ほいで、エレベーターに乗ってどうするの
？3階に降りようと思って。
3階に？だったらいつも通り非常階段を使えばいいんじゃないの？
あの階段じゃ行けないから。発電室には行けないの。
発電室？
That reminded me of what you had said. Leimu didn't receive any power from the outside, but had an in-house generating system. She had said that a facility pumped up hot water from a thermal seafloor vent using heat from it to operate the power generator.
だっけなしてほんなとこさ、えがねばなれんにだ？
だって不便でしょ。このまま明かりがつかなかったら。修理するのよ。停電の原因は多分発電機にあると思うの。
ああ、なるほどね。だからこんなでっかい荷物が必要なんだ。
そう。
そっかそっか。納得。
Tsugumi was finally freed from Coco's barrage of questions.
それじゃあ行ってくるから。たけし、 ちょっと付き合ってくれない？
Huh? Me? Without thinking, I shot a question back at her. The question was pretty sudden and caught me off balance. Besides, I thought that was the first time that she had called me by my name. First, there's one thing that I want to ask you.
何？
You just said something about the emergency stairs not leading to the generator room, right? Yeah, so what?
昨日見たレミューのマップ、覚えてない？
Map? Map. I pressed on my temples with my fingers, trying to tease out a buried memory.
3階のマップはエリアが2つに分断されている。思い出した？
I can't say I remember exactly, but kinda, yeah.
じゃあ、その2つのエリアの間には何があった？
Between them, how am I supposed to know? There wasn't anything there.
そう。ということは？
Those two areas are divided by a block, which is now underwater?
だから？
We can't move directly from the control room area to the generator room area.
だとしたら？
Oh, I see. To get to the generator room's area, we have to access the second floor. And the only way we can do that is by using the neutral buoyancy elevator.
手伝ってくれるでしょ？
But do you think it's alright? I mean, we haven't asked Sora's opinion. And we don't know if the cause of the blackout is really the generator.
きっと無駄だと思う。
Huh?
空を探したって無駄だと思う。停電してるんだから。制御室のコンピューターは完全に使い物にならない。たとえ空がいたところでレミとコンタクトを取ることはできないの。今はとりあえず発電機を見に行くことぐらいしか私たちにできることはない。
Well, I suppose so, but...
ねえ、どうするの？付き合ってくれるわね。たけし、あなたのことがどうしても必要なの。
Oh, wow. Those words shocked me. I thought my heart stopped for a second. I really need you. They were not words that I have ever expected to hear from Tsugumi's mouth. Tsugumi stared straight at me. Her intense gaze made me
お
uncomfortable.
願い。
Guess what? We're looking for Sora first. F you, Tsugumi. No, I don't want to go. I turned my face to avoid Tsugumi's eyes. I didn't want her eyes to drag me in. We've got to look for Sora first. This isn't a time to be acting selfishly.
そう。
Tsugumi scowled. She gave me that look that could kill again.
ねえねえ、ココが代わりに言ってあげよっか。
Coco asked the question innocently.
そうね。
Tsugumi's expression soon returned to normal.
でも一人じゃ無理ね。ひとまずここには別の仕事を頼みたいんだけど。
別の仕事？何それ？
私が発電室を見に行くことを優と少年に伝えてほしいの。それとたけしが怖がって一緒に行こうとしないから困ってるって。
Ha ha ha, man. Hey, hold on. When did I say I was scared? I jumped in between Coco and Tsugumi.
嫌だ、行きたくないってだだっこみたいに言ったじゃない。
Hey, who do you think you're calling scared? I just think that we should do something else first.
ほら、そうやってすぐ吠える。臆病なのね。育児のない男。ああ、それともまだ男になってないのかな。ここ、早く優と少年を呼んできてよ。たけしは役に立ちそうにないから。
Tsugumi, you don't have to talk like that. I was peeved.
じゃあどう言えばいいの？
Without hesitating, Tsugumi shot the question right back at me. For one moment, I thought I'd grab her by her collar and show her, but I dropped my hand. Okay, fine. I'll go with you. I'll go with you because you're too scared to go alone. Tsugumi laughed through her nose.
結局ここはどうしたらいいのかな？
優たちには私が発電室に行くことを伝えるだけでいいわ。たけしは私がもらっていくから。
はい、じゃあ了解しました。
So either way, we go with Tsugumi. Okay. Coco clicked her heels together and gave a kind of salute. Neutral buoyancy elevator, EI. EI meant egg. I meant egg in German. It was also a literal take on the egg-shaped elevator that traveled up and down rails in the ocean on the side of Lake Mu. A ballast tank was attached to the floor. It would take and now release seawater from the tank as necessary to increase or reduce buoyancy, making the elevator rise or sink. Once Tsugumi and I were inside, we sealed the watertight doors on the Lemu side of the elevator. All we had to do was release the lock connecting us to Lemu, and the egg would sink away. Excuse me. Tsugumi pulled the operating lever next to the door. Nothing happened. What's going on? We're not sinking at all.
そうみたいね。
Use the fish! Tsugumi calmly opened up the toolbox she had brought with her. Inside were an electric screwdriver, hydraulic cutting machine, some kind of laser or welding device, a small gas burner. The box was packed with any and all kinds of tools. Huh? What are you gonna do with that?
沈まないなら沈めるしかないでしょ。
Huh? Whoa. What? Tsugumi, are you crazy? Tsugumi took the lit torch in hand and slowly stood up. Blue flame erupted from it, like a jet engine, hissing in the dim light. No way. You're kidding, right? Tsugumi. Tsugumi didn't answer. Tsugumi grinned triumphantly. She put the flame to the edge of the elevator shell. Yikes. There was no time to stop her. Whoa! Is that how she does? Wow. A coin-sized hole opened in the egg-shaped elevator, and seawater came spurting in with tremendous force. You idiot! 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 What are you trying to do? A hole? There's a hole!
ええ、開けたのよ。
Tsugumi was as calm as ever. She extinguished the flame as if nothing had happened. She placed it in the toolbox and shut the lid. Wow. Tsugumi has some interesting ways of doing stuff. The seawater created a mist, descending all around us. Tsugumi licked the droplet off her lips. You're crazy, right? Yeah, being cooped in here made you crazy. Tsugumi just snickered. As we continued this exchange, water continued to pour in. It pooled in the bottom of the egg. It covered our ankles, then our shins, swallowing our knees, and lapping at our thighs. I thought maybe I'll wash my hair. Oh gosh. No, I want to see what this does. I thought it was good timing. I was due for a wash anyway. I missed bathing the day before. I ducked my head under the flowing water and mussed up my hair. Yep, it was invigorating. I could really feel the minerals seeping into my scalp. The water was cold, but it was actually refreshing. Hey, can you get the shampoo for me? Or what the heck am I doing? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Oh, not as good as the elevator scene in 999. That was gold. Tsugumi gave me the evil eye. Just then. Boom, the egg elevator took a big jolt and started to move. I began to inch down ever so slowly. Peeking through the window and into the blue, we could see the outside of Lemu. The blue gradually got darker and the steel bulkhead appeared to move farther away upward. The higher water pressure increased the force of the water pouring in. The speed of our descent picked up. I wonder how many feet we had dropped. I shifted my gaze toward the sea bottom, but dreaded stock still had not come into view. The water in the elevator had already reached my chest. My legs were floating. I was on my toes. I kicked with all my power off the floor and seized the edge of the ceiling. Hey, don't you think this is pretty dangerous? A strange smile appeared on Tsugumi's face. It seemed she was getting a little worried. I wonder if we'll die like this.
かもね。
No, not maybe. This harebrained idea was all your splutter. Cough splutter. He didn't actually cough. Sorry. The surface of the water reached my throat. And cold seawater rushed into my mouth. I lifted my chin and desperately tried to stick to the ceiling. Tsugumi! Tsugumi! I screamed crazily. Whoa. I looked sideways and saw Tsugumi struggling to stay above the water. Just then. Boom, the egg was shaken by a strong shock. We made it to the 3rd floor. I wanted to shout this, but it was impossible. There was no longer enough air for me to yell. I didn't know if she had panicked or what, but Tsugumi was thrashing her arms and legs around desperately. In the blur underwater, I pinned down Tsugumi's shoulders. It's alright, I'll take care of it. I felt Tsugumi's body relax. I kicked against the wall and clung to the handle of the watertight doors. I focused every ounce of strength in my body on turning the heavy handle. Because my body would float, I couldn't gain traction with my feet. Bracing on one leg on the handle, I continued turning and turning it. The water pressure became pressing in on my eardrums. My body was screaming for oxygen. Open! 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 The double-ply door opened. A mass of water Tsugumi and I were all spit out of the elevator onto the floor. But we didn't have time to catch our breath. Seawater was flooding into the hole into the elevator more ferociously than ever. I got up immediately and rushed to the watertight doors on the elevator. First I closed that door, locked it, then closed the door on the lane side as well. Wow. For a while I couldn't move. Tsugumi too laid sprawled on the floor. I didn't feel angry with her, because relief was the dominant emotion. That was such a stupid thing to do. What if we really had died? Tsugumi was coughing a little, looking down. She didn't try to look at me. I thought that maybe she was reflecting on what she had done. That's it, maybe. Maybe she just isn't a people person and has a hard time getting along with others. She seemed fragile and lonely. Maybe she needs someone's help? It was the first time that I'd realized there was anything weak about her. Sitting all alone in the middle of that sprawling floor, she looked so small, like a newly born chick. The hallway was dark. The darkness hid our surroundings from us and felt oppressive. I walked slowly forward, making sure of each step. In my right hand, I had a huge toolbox. It was so heavy, it felt like my shoulder might break under its strain. I wonder if this area is full of water from yesterday's flooding. Tsugumi shot a question back at me.
だから
Two syllables. That was all she said. What's your problem anyway? Just a minute ago, you were desperately screaming for help to keep from drowning.
そんなこと言ってない。
Yeah, but your eyes did.
訴えてない。
There you go, acting all tough again.
強がってなんかいない。それに
Bump. Ouch, don't just stop all of a sudden like that. It's dark and I can't see.
いい？繰り返すけど、私はあなたに助けてなんて一言も言ってないから。
Tsugumi turned back to me. Shrouded in darkness, I couldn't really make out her expression. Yeah, but if I hadn't opened up the door, the chances are you and I would both be
あ
floating
なたに
drowned
助
in
けら
that
れるくらい
egg.
なら、死んだ方がまだ良かった。
Oh, really? Jeez, why can't this girl ever be honest with people? I went around Tsugumi and walked further along the flooded corridor. One more thing I wanted to get off my chest. What were those words all about anyway?
あの言葉？
As she fired another short question at me, Tsugumi passed me again. What you said before we got in the egg on the second floor. I really, really need you. Your eyes were watery. You were begging me, right?
ええ、したわ。
Oh, that was an unexpected answer.
それがどうかしたの？
So, you're depending on me after all. And now you finally admit it? Tsugumi continued forward without talking. In other words, if something were to happen, you want to be with someone you can rely on. You're afraid to be alone. That's why you wanted me to come.
あなた、バカでしょ。
Wow. Huh?
まだ気づかないの？あのエレベーター、愛は中性浮力を利用してるから、基本的には動力を必要としない。ただし、バラストタンクの注水時、排水時、その時にだけ電力を用いる。今は停電してるから。
You couldn't operate the ballast valve. That much
じゃ
I know.
あ、アルキメデスの原理って知ってる？
If I say no, I don't know it, but I don't want some super long explanation. So I'm kind of curious what it is. Nah, I can't say I understand that. I remember hearing about it a long time ago at school, but I forget.
物体にかかる浮力は、その物体が押しのけた液体の重さに等しい。
Didn't you or Sarah explain this in Kids Root? Pretty sure. Oh, you mean that's the Archimedes principle? And what's that got to do with this?
あとは自分で考えれば。
There she went again. She would tease me along, but that was it. Gave a deep sigh and shook my head. I switched the heavy toolbox to my other hand and continued walking. After walking a while, Tsugumi turned right ahead of me. I followed after her. Oh! Turning the corner and finally hit me. I see, so that's what you meant. I thought it was weird you're inviting me along. To sink that egg elevator to the third floor, its total weight had to be greater than the force of the buoyancy. So just one skinny girl like you wasn't going to be enough weight.
そう。だから、勘違いしないでくれる？ここに閉じ込められた5人の中で、あなたが一番重いでしょ？
I'm not just some big rock paperweight.
そうね。あなたは漬物石っていうよりも、ただの、うつけ者。
As I was thinking of a comeback to Rockhead, we arrived at our destination. Yellow and black stripes appeared dimly ahead. This it? This is the generator room? There was a plate with information in the front of the door, but it was too dark to read. I'll take a look. I reached toward the door handle.
待って。
Tsugumi grabbed my arm. Huh? What's up? What? If you don't talk, I don't understand. Tsugumi held my arm firmly. The wet palm of her hand felt cool. I didn't know what she wanted to say. I tried to read something from her expression, but it was too dark to see.
開かない方がいいと思う。
Why not?
危険だから。多分。
Dangerous? Inside this room? Tsugumi nodded and gently removed her hand from my arm. And then she quietly approached the door. She tossed some of the water droplets from her hand at the steel door. The droplets sizzled on the door, evaporating away. Is there a fire or something inside? Tsugumi shook her head.
熱水を利用した発電機から出火するとは考えられない。
Then...
きっと蒸気が、とても高い温度の水蒸気が中に充満してるんだと思う。ここの発電機はもともと6気圧の下で正常に作動するように設計されてたのよ。でもレミュー内の大気は今1気圧。高圧力の蒸気が充満したタンクとかパイプとか、そういったものに亀裂が生じる可能性もないとは言えないわ。あるいは異常が感知されたせいで安全バルブが開放されたとか。
Oh, I get it. Either way, steam is leaking from somewhere and there isn't enough power to turn the turbine. And so the generator stopped. If that is what happened, then that could have been pretty dangerous. The instant I opened the door, my whole body would have been showered with several 100-degree steam. Like Tsugumi, I tossed some water on the door. Whoosh! After that, Tsugumi and I made for the room next door to the generator room. We were implementing Tsugumi's plan. First, shut off the hot water flowing to the generator room. It was dark and I couldn't see everything, but the room was covered in an outstanding network of pipes. The pipes continued into the generator room next door. It seemed that opening and closing the valves could adjust the water and oil pressure. Normally, Leimei is responsible for maintaining the generator room, but even Leimei can't do much when the generator itself goes out. Anyway, this is all because the power supply is down. This room is designed so that the maintenance can be performed manually at times like this, or during blackouts. That was what Tsugumi told me. Why does Tsugumi know so much about Leimei? She seemed to know where the generator room and the room with all the pipes was. These doubts nagged at my mind. As I was thinking these thoughts, Tsugumi plugged away next to me. Tsugumi selected one pipe from the countless rows of them and closed its valve. I had no idea which pipe was doing what. But Tsugumi had known. What? But Tsugumi had known. What kind of girl is Tsugumi anyway? I still hadn't found out how she had known that the inside of the generator room was dangerous. I wonder if Tsugumi has some kind of connection with Leimei.
これで多分大丈夫だと思う。
As soon as the work was done, Tsugumi left. I was left alone in the room. There were still a number of nagging doubts that I hadn't resolved. With this, we should be able to shut off the hot water flowing to the generator room. Even so, on the other side of the door, it was still hot enough to scald. Tsugumi and I waited in front of the generator room until the temperature inside had cooled down sufficiently. We sat on the water-covered floor and leaned against the wall. We sat next to each other. We were both already drenched, so we didn't have any problem about sitting in water. Besides, the water was warmer than it looked. I thought it was probably the heat from the generator room. Hey, how long do you think we're gonna have to wait? I asked Tsugumi this. An hour? Tsugumi didn't even try to answer. It was so dark that I couldn't even tell if she had nodded or shaken her head. In the darkness, there were intermittent and repeated clicking noises. It was like the sound of dry plastic crinkling, like on top of the champagne bottle. It sounded like it was coming from near Tsugumi's hand. What's that?
Eh?
That crackling sound you're making. The sound stopped. Tsugumi took whatever it was and put it away in her pocket. I thought it might be her way of saying, I'm not going to tell. What is it with you? You only answer when you feel like it? You're like a cat.
猫は嫌い。
Oh, well I hate you too, Tsugumi. I love cats.
ネズミを食べちゃうから。
I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
私は猫じゃない。
That's for sure.
私が答えるかどうかは気分とは関係ないの。意味のある質問には答える。そうじゃなければ答えない。ただそれだけ。
Really? So you are serious?
だからそういう質問には答えたくないの。確認のための質問。あなたには知る必要のない質問。私が知らないことを知ってるくせに聞いてくるような質問。世の中にはあまりにも不毛な会話が多すぎる。
Alright, I got it already. How about I ask you a meaningful question? I want to ask... I decided to ask about something that had been nagging me for a while. Tsugumi, why do you know so much about Leimu? I mean, you seem to know all about the details of stuff, like this generator room or the pipe room or whatever. I couldn't check her expression, but it seemed like she was deep in thought about something. How's that for a meaningful question?
全然意味なんかないわ。
Tsugumi muttered that.
そんなことを聞いてあなたは何か得する？私のことを知っても何の意味もないでしょ。あなたには知る必要のないこと。
Oh, I see. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine. Still, I really did want to know. Tsugumi's invasion of the question had made me interested in finding what there really was to her, but I didn't think that she would answer if I badgered her about it anymore. I was feeling irritated, but decided to play it cool and pretend like I didn't care. Then...
ね
I didn't know what she was thinking, but Tsugumi suddenly put her face in front of mine. What?
え、今度は私の番ね。
Yeah?
質問してもいいでしょ？
Sure, go ahead.
目閉じてくれる？
Is that your question?
正確に言うとお願い。
There in the darkness, in that narrow corridor, just a few inches from my nose, the two of us, my mind turned to steam and evaporated.
閉じて。
Almost as if I were hypnotized, my eyes began to sink. And immediately after that... What's happening? I didn't know what to make of these noises. I opened my eyes without thinking. Tsugumi was grinning mischievously right in front of me.
閉じてて。
Tsugumi covered my eyes with one hand. And then... Whoosh! Hey, what are you doing?
このゴキブリ野郎！ゴキブリ野郎！
I screamed. What are you doing? A liquid spray like something showered my face. You, that one in my mouth.
それでも食らえ！しょー！
Stop it! What's the matter with you? I desperately tried to resist, but my body wouldn't do what I told it. Tsugumi had me by the neck.
そうだ。参ったか、かまど馬よ。別名便所コオロギよ。
What's happening? With those words, the eruption in my face stopped. My mouth is numb. What'd you spray on me? I thought she was laughing, but the next thing I knew, Tsugumi had started rubbing my face with a cloth. It was rough and her technique wasn't any better. Oh, I stopped my futile resistance. I was almost choking.
これでいいかな？
Tsugumi took her hand off my neck. Unable to open my eyes, I scooped up seawater from the floor and put it in my mouth. It was salty, but I didn't have any other choice. Swish, swish, swish. Blah!
ちょっと汚いからこんなとこに吐き出さないでよ。
You! I wanted to say something to her, but washing my face took priority. I scooped more water, splashed it on my face, and gargled again. I opened my eyes. What do you think you're doing? What did you put on my face?
アセトン。
Acetone. Oh, great. I'm so happy it wasn't some pesticide. You think I'm serious? You idiot. I'm kidding. What are you doing spraying down on me all of a sudden?
見苦しかったから。
Huh? What was?
顔が。
Whose?
あなたの。
You... And then I realized something. I remembered. The black ink that had been on the palms of my hands. I see. It was the graffiti. It was still there? You erased all of the writing? I'd completely forgotten about it until just then. Then I was making sandwiches, looking for Sora, and coming here. The writing had been on my face since that morning. And the acetone. That's supposed to be like nail remover, right?
工具箱に入ってたの。見つけたから。
And there was a strong stench from it in the air. It stung my nose like overripe fruit. Ugh, overripe fruit. Kinda smells like alcohol. It smelled like a yeah. Thanks. I thanked her. So what did the writing say? I asked her about the graffiti.
待ってても答えないの？意味のない質問だから。
Oh wow. In the end, I never did find out why she called me a slug. We waited for the generator room to cool before we're going inside. It's only 9:42 a.m. The heat inside just about defied imagination. The air in the steam-filled room was heavy and stuck to the skin. Inhaling felt like swallowing globs of sticky hot steam. I was opening and closing his mouth like a fish out of water. Isn't it hard to breathe? Tsugumi seemed to have ruled this question of mine meaningless as well. She completely ignored me as she started working to get the generator up and running again. We did the work together. Tsugumi gave commands, I followed them. I did the grunt work, tightening bolts, loosening valves, and working on pipes. And when I finished tightening the last bolt... Ooh, that should do it. I wiped my sweat away with my collar. It was just like Tsugumi had said, the blackout was caused when the safety valve had opened due to the drop in air pressure. When pressure from the steam becomes excessive, the valve automatically opens to release the gas to prevent damage. Normally, after a release of surplus gas, the valve is designed to shut automatically, but we're at 1 atmosphere, so... Because the safety valve never closed, the steam continued leaking. Anyway, that was the gist of that explanation. Tsugumi and I went to the generator and went to the pipe room. There we opened the valves we had closed before the repairs. We returned to the generator room. So should we try to fire it up? I'm turning it on. You ready? Let's start the countdown. 30 seconds. 25 seconds. 20, 19, 18, 17. Click. Tsugumi pushed the button. Hey, what are you doing? We still have 17 seconds to go. You can't wait a little more than a mere 10 seconds. This is kind of like a ritual. Anyway, it's very important.
0.
Lights lit up all at once. Light poured down, illuminating even the corners of the room. It was like our field of vision had expanded in an instant.
ほらね。電気がつくまでちょうど17秒。
Tsugumi flashed me a consenting glance and strolled out of the room. Tusk. I shouldered the weighty toolbox and followed after Tsugumi. We found ourselves back in front of the neutral buoyancy elevator. Tsugumi was waiting with her arms crossed.
遅い。
What do you expect? I'm the one carrying this leaden toolbox.
知ってる。
Oh yeah, I forgot what Tsugumi that took the toolbox out of the warehouse. As I recalled that, I turned my eyes to the egg-like elevator. On the other side of the door, the egg that we came in should have been waiting. It was an egg with a hole in it. It was useless to us. To the left, the floor display was lit up with the number 3. Do you know there was another egg elevator stop down here?
知らなきゃ来ない。
I suppose not. Oh, this is heavy. Inside the egg elevator, I put the toolbox on the floor.
おっさんみたい。
Shut up! I am an old man compared to you. As I said that, I pushed the up button next to the elevator. Their internal and external watertight doors had already sealed automatically. We could hear air being sent into the ballast tank under the floor. Finally, the egg-shaped elevator didn't start to flow up. Huh? Are you serious? The sound beneath the floor had stopped and silence had returned. Not again. Why did we keep running into problem after problem? Knowing it was useless, I pushed the up button repeatedly. Tsugumi was as matter-of-fact as always. She was playing with and coiling her long, still damp hair with her fingers. Alright, so what do we do? Just as I said that, a monitor just to the right of the round window flickered to life. Sora, where have you been? We looked everywhere for you. The image of Sora in the monitor bowed. Why do I have trouble saying bowed? Bowed deeply. That's not important right now. Tsugumi and I fixed the generator.
そのようですね。ありがとうございました。本当に。
I think you know this, but we are on this egg, this I.
わかっています。愛が動かないのですね。
What should we do?
まず、その原因についてなのです。おそらく内部気圧が減少した関係で、バラストタンク内の海水を十分に排出することができないからだと思われます。つまり、
You mean it isn't buoyant enough?
はい。浮上させる方法はいくつか考えられますが。
It was then that Tsugumi acted. She suddenly opened the watertight door. Hey, wait! What do you think you're doing? Without answering, Tsugumi also opened the lame side door.
じゃあね。
Huh? Tsugumi tried to get out of the elevator. I grabbed her arm, trying to stop her.
触らないで。
Slap. It was a solid smack.
触らないでって。言ったでしょ。
My cheek didn't hurt. I absently watched Tsugumi return to the floor. The egg quietly started to ascend. I could no longer see her on the other side of the door.
Tiefe, 50 Meter. Tiefe, 45 Meter. Tiefe, 40 Meter.
The recorded announcement echoed with a tinny sound. Oh no, Tsugumi! Tsugumi! When I met everyone on Zweigstock, they greeted me with friendly shouts.
つぐみがどうかしたの？
That idiot decided to stay alone on floor below.
そうみたいね。
No, it doesn't look like it. She did. She's all alone down there. Aren't you worried about her?
でも。
I'm going back down. I'm going down and I'm bringing Tsugumi back.
は？
We can't leave Tsugumi alone down there. Look, she's really not as tough as she acts. Somebody has to be with her.
へえ。
Hey, what are you doing? Get your act together. Tsugumi can be a bit of an ass, but that doesn't mean you have to be so cold to her. Enough! Anyway, I'm going back for her. With that, I went back to the entrance to the egg and waited in front of the doors. Next. When the doors open, surprise!
どいてもらえる？邪魔なんだけど。
I simply stood there. Tsugumi pushed me out of the way and walked by. If there were a rock there, I would have crawled under it. So I did the next closest thing I could think of.
Tiefe, 35 Meter. Tiefe, 40 Meter. Tiefe, 45 Meter.
I went back to stock in the egg for no reason. It didn't have enough buoyancy, so we had to come up one by one. Gosh, I'm dense. If I could have, right then, I would have liked to sink down to the bottom of the ocean. Nearly an hour had passed since the power had gone back online. We gathered in the conference room on the 3rd floor. Tsugumi, Soryu, Coco, and I were sitting in chairs just letting time pass. The rescue team still hadn't come. Our situation didn't show any sign of changing. My yawn spread from one person to the next. Only Sora had her head down and looked as if she were thinking about something.
そうだ。
Suddenly, Coco suddenly started talking.
さっきね、更衣室でこんなものを見つけたんだけど。
As she spoke, Coco plucked something out of her pocket. It was a set of cards.
ねえ、やらない？トランプ。
How about no, and I'm gonna stop here because it's been like an hour. Yeah, this whole do a day, do an episode, no, wait, do a day per episode is kind of tiring. I know like each day, especially in the beginning, is like an hour to 2 hours long. I read pretty fast, but still, it's kind of hard just to sit down here reading. It gets tiring. So until next time, everybody, because I'm done for today. Sorry, I'm so sorry if you wanted to see more. But yeah, see you next time, everybody. Bye.